Yes, and I love it. Let's talk. And you know what? This is the Fab Show with yours truly, hosting today, Barbara J. Beckley. Hello, everybody. How you doing? I hope you're keeping warm. In certain states, it is very cold. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. But with that, we're going to be talking today, and I love this particular subject because it's about how your voice matters. So I want you to start thinking about already how important your voice is. And we're going to have some fabulous panelists talk about that as well and what they believe why our voice matters. We'll be right back. Ta-da, it's magic. Okay, so everybody is here and we're ready to rock and roll. So like I said, today is about how your voice matters. And I was just talking to the panelists behind closed doors in the virtual green room before we started that I picked this topic because especially it's the beginning of the year, and I want to just remind a lot of people that how important your voice is. It needs to be heard and what kind of capacity that's needed. And then I just thought about it tomorrow, just, to put a little plug out there. It's Martin Luther King. They're celebrating Martin Luther King's birthday tomorrow. And his voice really mattered. So just take that as an example, as you can do the same thing. So I really thought it was interesting. I was like, wow, I didn't even think of the connection until just now. But it is very important to have your voice matter. And we're going to talk to some fabulous queens. I can say because they're all women, to talk about how it is when your voice is being used. So with that said, let me change some things around here and get people in the middle as we do. We're going to start with our first queen here. I'm going to drop her there. Okay, Miss Carol, I need to introduce.
Okay. I was just surprised to be the first. So anyway, my name is Carol Henderson, and I live on a lake north of Amarillo, Texas.
Yes. Next queen.
Hey there, I'm Karen Stultz, and I live in Mid-Coast, Maine on a wonderful island in the woods.
Wow, that sounds peaceful. And next queen.
Hello, everyone. I'm Elena Rodriguez, and I am freezing my booty off right here in Indiana.
Well, we're both doing the same thing, queen. And the next queen.
Hi, I'm JacQueline, Reno, Nevada.
Yes, thank you, JacQueline. And I think Nevada is probably the warmest part, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking right about now. Yeah, because now we just went from 10 to 9 degrees. So we're going down. We're going down. But I'm glad I'm here with everybody. So with that said, again, we're talking about your voice matters. Now, I'm going to put you're going to see some things that pop up about just some positive things regarding your voice matters as we're walking through and we're talking to people. So one thing I want to show is your voice. I'm sorry, Kim. Your voice matters because it carries your life experience, right? So we know how we're always talking about, we got to tell your stories. Well, each and every one of us here, each and every panelist, each and every queen is going to talk a little bit, give a little bit of what they experience when it comes to voicing your voice that matters. And you might hear some stories to learn from. And that's why it's important, because we learn from each other. And that's where the connection and hope comes in it. So while I'm saying that, we're going to go to our first wonderful queen, Miss Elena, and hear what she has to say about basically confidence and alignment.
For a long time, I thought finding my voice meant being louder, more certain. Like confidence was something that you earned once you had all the answers. What I've learned is that real confidence comes from alignment, not volume, not being louder. The loudest one in the room doesn't necessarily have more confidence. It comes from trusting that your story, your perspective, and your timing matter. Exactly as they are, they come in alignment. My voice didn't grow stronger because life got easier. It grew stronger because I actually stopped editing myself to make others more comfortable. Leading with confidence doesn't mean that you never doubt yourself. It means you choose to speak anyway, with honesty, humility, and pure intention. I believe our voices matter most when we use them to create space for others, not just to be seen ourselves, but to be understood. And when we lead from that place, confidence becomes less about performance and more about purpose.
Oh, wow. I'm just going to go straight to the queen.
Hey, hey.
Hey. Yes, Elena. So please, anything to add? Well, that was so much powerful right there, but anything to add for us? And then any of the other panelists want to comment on it after that.
Yeah, for sure. Everyone knows that I run with my GOD first, my grand overall designer. And sometimes when we're out here trying to do the things that we want, that we're excited about, that we feel will change the world, sometimes we kind of do things our way. And it's not really the way that God intends for us to do it. And so I'm speaking now from a place that he kind of kicked my booty in 2025 and said, hey, you've done a great job and you've been doing it your way, but how's that really working for you? And he said, how about you try to do it my way? Are you ready now? And he brought everything into an alignment. And so now the leader in me, the confidence in me, that place that is of the knowing comes from a steady rhythm, and it's a slower pace. And that's all I really want to share, is that confidence doesn't have to be rushed. It doesn't have to be proven. It doesn't have to be defended. Just keep in alignment with the main man and watch what happens.
I love that. I love that, Elena. And I'm with you all the way, because me and her, we're queens of queens. And I always say queens lift up other queens. And when everything she's talking about, I went through the exact same thing. That's why I always say, when you hear people's stories and what they're dealing with, you're not alone and you can help each other. So thank you. Thank you for letting us know that it's okay. It's okay to get in that alignment. It's okay to pause. It's okay to ask those questions and say, well, maybe, okay, what's been going on lately? Maybe I need to change some things. Yeah. So thank you for giving us permission, Elena, to say with your voice to tell us that. Anybody else want to comment with what Elena added? Anything added to that? It was very good.
Absolutely. That is absolutely right on, Elena. And I'm so thrilled that you are creating that and recognizing that in my world, it's awareness and allowing. And that when you are aware of what the situation is, and then you allow something like confidence to come in, your life changes, doesn't it? And you create that ripple effect out there into the world. And it continues and continues. I love it, Elena. Thank you.
I like that ripple effect. I was just like, ooh, yeah, and it does. It goes way out there, doesn't it?
It does.
Anybody else want to add to?
I do. It's when she's talking about being in alignment with God, that's where we all need to be. Because if we are, we're fighting an unmovable object or person. And so we want to be in alignment with him, and then it's smooth. Think about trying to go against the river or just floating in the river. And it makes it easier. And so many people I know have had to pivot this last year, the last few months of the year, their businesses, their life, so many things has made a pivot and a change. But as they're flowing in that river, they'll stay out of the rocky parts and be able to move as they should.
Yes, definitely. I liked how you mentioned about pivot. And I believe that, we always talk about, well, we had a pivot, because of the COVID and everything. And I get it. We all did that. We had to. It was just like we couldn't do nothing else. But I always believe that we should always be changing things because the world, people, and places change all the time. So we always need to kind of make those little adjustments, even with our voice, because sometimes you can be talking about something 2 years ago, but now it's something different. So you got to change the trajectory of that. Not saying to change yourself, but just to change how you're maybe putting it out there so people can understand. So I always say there's always going to be changing going on. That's just my that's just my little 10 cents there.
Yeah, I love that. If I can add, I like to keep in my mind, a coach told me years ago, be a river, not a reservoir. And that can mean many things, meaning like the information coming to you, don't hold it for yourself, let it flow through, but also causing that ripple effect of the goodness that's out there. But I've kind of even looked at the word pivot differently, because if we actually like take the flow and we just allow like whatever, the more that we say yes to God and we take that next step, he's going to show another opportunity. He's going to show something next. And so if we just kind of consider that staying in flow, versus like stepping here, turning, moving, because ultimately I don't think we ever just like pivot away from something. It just starts looking a little different. And so if we just give ourselves permission to just flow and just roll with it, chances are we're going to end up somewhere different than we imagined. But it's not necessarily that negative attachment to the word pivot when it feels like you quit something or it didn't work. Just kind of go and flow and see what God's got in front of you. That's how I've rolled with it.
Yeah, I mean, and I love how you put that in that way. It's very important. Like you said, it's a different flavor of pivot to me. I'm like, see, we're always on the same page.
Yep.
Ladies on the same page. But anybody else? JacQueline, you want to add to the conversation, lady?
Said what is a tree or a river, those things are always changing, and that change is part of your soul growth. And to stay in your heart, focus on the end result that you're thinking of or desiring. The desire is from source, from the Father. And as you move through your maturity, as we move through life, your perspective, your strength, your courage increases. And hopefully you're going to share it through it's not just your voice, your dance, your movement, your art. There are many ways of expressing your voice.
You know what? And now that she said that about courage, hint, hint, we're going to play Jackie's video. We'll be right back.
The topic today is your voice. It takes courage. And once you start to refine and activate that courage, your life is going to change. Your relationships will shift. Your business or career empowerment will begin a whole new level. There's so many ways. I like writing. I write things down, and if you've ever said something or written something and then like, oops, I wish I hadn't said that, or missed the opportunity, I wish I said that, then now is a good time to really explore how to empower yourself with refining that voice so you're in the right place at the right time, saying and doing the right things, feeling great all the time. Develop your voice.
I love it. Courage. First when I heard that, her video, I was thinking of, okay, I know I go there sometime with movies, The Wizard of Oz with, the Cowardly Lion. And all he wanted was that courage. And what's so interesting about it, he had it all the time. He just didn't realize it. So JacQueline, I want you to talk a little bit more about that.
You're absolutely right. He had it all the time. We all have it all the time. And part of our living our life is developing that even more. There have been books, Life as a Game, and not that we're playing games, but there are strategies starting with the end result in mind. I've coached people, and really having someone to give you feedback to shift and adjust and to refine your voice, whether it be music, art, speaking, at work or at play, in your personal relationships. It's all personal empowerment, and it takes courage, sometimes to speak, sometimes to stop speaking. Yeah.
Yes, definitely, definitely. I love that. And I love with the courage because, when you put it out there, when you first start off, like you said, JacQueline, and you just say, oops, I didn't say that. Oops, I should have said it like that. I don't even do that anymore. I just let it come out because you never know, even with the oopsie, I call it, that might be touching somebody. So, and then that gives you kind of freedom and gets some kind of, that heaviness off of you a little bit by saying, you know what, we're all human. We all make those mistakes, but it might not even be a mistake because it might have been for somebody. So I love how you put that out there with the oops, but yeah, maybe it was supposed to be said. Anybody else want to add to that?
I'll add something on the courage piece because even speaking of like confidence, to me, I go by the 4 C's, and this is like to help people find clarity, but courage is part of that. I don't really believe in clarity, but we've talked about this, Barbara. The first one is that competency, right? That's not a sexy word. Nobody wants to pay attention to that part, but in anything that you're doing in life, business, relationships, like anything, get competent. Know it in and out. Don't be afraid of what you don't know. Like, look into every avenue, because the more competent you become over something, the more confident you are about it. Like, just think about if you were in school and you didn't study and the teacher's asking questions and you're looking down because you're like, I don't want to make eye contact, because you're not confident. Why? You're not competent over the material. So as your confidence grows, because you know more and more about it, that's where the courage comes from. You're not afraid to talk about it. You're not afraid of the questions that are going to come in. You're not even afraid of the opinions, because you know it in and out, and you're confident about that. And that, to me, is what helps you become more courageous, to step forward, use your voice, because it does matter, but because you're secure, you know where you're coming from, and the other stuff that would ultimately have made you nervous or want to keep you quiet or keep you in doubt, it's not a factor anymore, because you're actually competent over it all. So that's kind of how I look at it.
Hope you written that down. Just a reminder, Carol. Uh-oh, she's on. Oh, there we go.
Well, yeah, hold on. I was unmuting myself and unmuted myself. One thing in the word, it says to be fruitful and multiply. And so many times, especially in business, we as women try to jump out and do things before we're fruitful. So we're trying to multiply before we're fruitful. And the fruitfulness is the competency that you're talking about. You have to learn what you're doing and know what you're doing before you can multiply and take it out. And so that is one of the things that's very needful, is that we take the time to know what we don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, just to add to that, before anybody else shoots in here, I want to jump in like that little double dutch. I was just thinking of, if you don't ask the questions, and I always tell you how some people say, well, can I ask this question? I don't want to sound like a dumb question, or I said, no question is a dumb question if you don't know the answer. So you need to speak up so you can get that clarity. So then you become confident in everything we're talking about. So never think that a question is a dumb question. Questions you need answers to, you need to ask those questions. So step up and just ask the question. Anybody else want to add or have any thoughts before we move on?
Yeah, indeed. The confidence comes from practice. Practice asking the question, practice dancing, practice art, practice. And when you can feel it in your soul, when you can feel it in every cell of your body, you can't help but be confident. It just is the way it goes. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes you can practice on your own, but sometimes you need a little help. And I love the different ways that this panel is able to share their voice so that you can see the different ways of sharing a voice through art, through words, through dance, through all kinds of things. It isn't just one thing. So practice expanding your mind and ask those questions without worry, because dang, it's like you say, Barb.
You don't.
You don't. If you don't know the answer, how are you ever going to find it out if you don't ask the question?
Yes.
And indeed, there is someone out there that is saying, all right, I wish I had asked that question.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
somebody else did, thank goodness. And you just do it the next time for the next person. That's how your voice gets out there, creating that ripple.
Yeah, and that's why your voice matters, because you might ask that question not just for yourself, but for a whole lot of people that didn't have the courage to ask the question. So that's why it's very important to do that. Well, talking about voice and rising, we have a nice special video for you to play real quick, and we'll be right back.
Voices rising. Here we go. Every story must be told. We all arrive with something to say. Different roads, different days. Every chapter, every name carries truth that shaped the way. Some are quiet, some are bold, some are waiting to unfold. But every story, when it's shared, leaves a mark because it's there. Don't doubt the meaning of your voice or the words you choose to bring. What you've lived, what you've learned has a way of touching things. Voices rising, one by one, every story's just begun. Say it honest, say it true. What you share can carry through. Voices rising, hear the sound. Every story spoken loud. When our stories come alive, confidence begins to rise. Your story doesn't need to shine or fit a perfect straight line design. It just needs to be your own. That's how hearts feel less alone. When one voice dares to speak, others find the strength they need. What you share might be the spark that helps someone start. Every truth has something worth. Every voice belongs right here. When we listen, when we speak, we remind each other we're seen. Voices rising, one by one, every story just begun. Say it honest, say it true. What you share can carry through. Voices rising, hear the sound. Every story spoken loud. When our stories come alive, confidence begins to rise. Stories crossing, hearts align. One brave word at just the right time. What we speak can lift the room, make a little more space to bloom. This is how connection grows. This is how the message flows. Not alone, but side by side. That's the power of voices rising. Oh, Lord, what you share can carry through. Voices rising, hear the sound, spoken loud. When our stories come alive, confidence begins to rise. Say it, lead with it. This is how our stories come alive.
Woo! I was over here just waving. I wish they had one of those little like candles that they do when your list of views is like, ah. Oh, the one part, I mean, I love the whole song. Just to let you know, Tamara L. Hunter, we have to give her some kudos and some love. Throw some hearts out there for her. She's the one that does all of these videos and these songs. She creates, that's her production. And I just have to give her so much kudos. She just puts so much love into it. So thank you, Tamara L. Hunter, Miss Queen Bee. And with that, I want to because I want to make sure we have some more conversation going too, because we only have a short time. Let me play Karen's video. She's talking a lot about kind of alignment imprint. So let's go to Karen's video.
Hi, I'm Karen Stultz, and I tell you, I'm so excited to be on this panel today because the fact is that your voice does matter. It's amazing what an influence you have, both ways, negative and positive. So it's important to know what you're putting out there, to recognize that every interaction you have with anybody, you are leaving an imprint. I've had people come to me years later and say, Karen, what you said to me 2 years ago made all the difference in my life. I never knew that. So be careful of what you say, how you say it, and I hope you enjoy this show.
I just noticed that song's playing behind your video, Karen. That's good, Tara.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah. So you were talking about, which I really, well, everything you said, but what I really love, you said, everything that you said can leave an imprint in somebody's life. So it kind of, progress on that a little bit more. I love that part of it.
Well, thank you, Queen Barb. Indeed, everything we say does have an effect, and how we say it, the tonality and whatnot. I remember with one young lady, and she came up to me and said, Karen, I just love being around you because I always feel safe. And I thought, dang, I thought we were just having a nice little chat. I didn't know. But these are the things with the tonality, the intention that you have with your words. I love the first of the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz, which is be impeccable with your words. So make your voice heard in a calm, understood way, and speak up when you need to. That's where the power comes. Yes. It is in the tonality and your words working together to have people hear you. I don't know about you, but I've listened to people I admire very much. But I've noticed when I've listened to them that they're becoming more and more angry. And I am not one who can really hear when somebody is angry because they're yelling, right? They're not making that impact. But when you're passionate, that tonality comes out. As you were saying, tomorrow is Martin Luther King's birthday or day. And he had a way. He had a way to speak softly, speak loudly, but the tonality was not with anger. It was, we can do something. Let's raise up the world and make a difference. Our voices can make that difference. Again, the lady I was talking about in the video, she called me 2 years later and she said, Karen, you saved my life. I need you again now. And wow.
Yeah, wow. That's such a wonderful, look what kind of imprint that you didn't even realize, like you just said, you're like, I thought we was having a conversation, just like a talk, like a coffee talk. And then you never know how that can leave an impression on somebody. And I'm just going to say this, I got to get kudos for every queen on the panel. Every person that I've talked to one-on-one on this panel, they have left a great impression for me. And that's why I follow them. That's why we keep connection with, collaboration, because of what they said, things that they do and say. And that's why I say your voice really matters, because you don't know how a person's going to uplift you in your own life and stay there. A lot of these queens have been sticking. We've been sticking together. So I'm loving that. And thank you, Karen, for reminding us about our words are important.
There's a lot of coaches out there, and talking about developing your coach or playing the game to win. Sometimes it's good to say, sometimes not to, but to communicate in some way. When I work with clients, sometimes we'll talk about an issue, and then I'll have them practice. Talk to me as if you're going to share it with your coworker, your boss, your husband, your wife. Let's work it through and let me give you feedback. So a lot of coaches do that, and to help anchor in that level of confidence and that level of end result that you're looking for. So it's not just, okay, I'm clear, I'm going to say it. Practice, even if it's in front of the mirror, and record it, and then practice it a few more times until you get to the place where you're good. You don't have to practice as much or at all. And it's just in alignment, like a channeling that truth.
Yes, definitely, definitely. Anybody else want to comment on that? That's powerful, JacQueline. Thank you.
One thing that I always keep in mind, years ago, I remember learning from, his name is Paul Martinelli. So I don't know if anybody knows Paul Martinelli, but years ago, he said, we all hear with our ears, but we each listen with our emotions. And so I've never forgot that, because our words do matter. And sometimes we say things and someone might react a way that you weren't like, whoa, that's not where I was coming from, or that's not what I meant by that. But in that moment, then you can pause and wonder, okay, what is that person going through? That's how they took my words, realizing that we're all emotional beings, and words are simply like just letters just thrown together that mean something, but what do they actually mean? It comes from our own experiences, our own past, our own emotional current state. Somebody could say something in the morning and say the exact same thing that afternoon, and depending on where you are, you're going to take it completely different. So our voice does matter, our words do matter, but keeping in mind that we're all human, and however somebody takes those in is ultimately up to them, not really what we said. So.
Yeah, that's really important, because there's been many times that I can say something, and I didn't get, first I was like, okay, Barbara, don't get upset about it, as long as they got it from whoever and it's helping them out. I would say something like, whatever, and they'd be like, and then there's somebody else, like maybe just using as an example, because it has happened in real true life, and they're like, oh yeah, I got it, you might have said da. In the back of my mind, it's like, well, I could have said something similar, but you know what, that's okay, that is okay, as long as you got it, I don't care who it came from. So and you have to be open to that, and don't let that kind of stop you, because you don't want to stop somebody else from growing, whoever it comes from. If it's helping them, then awesome. So thank you, Elena, for saying that, because that has happened many times. Anybody else want to chime in real quick? We're good. So you know what, now that we're talking about, I want to talk about celebration for a minute. Within this community, we have a wonderful, wonderful lady, and I know she's there. So I know she's out there putting quotes or whatever out there. Caroline Brown, she's a senior ambassador volunteer for Chemo Buddies for Life, and just this whole thing with the Tamara production. She's been with us for years and years. Well, we want to celebrate something with her, and I'm going to play it right now.
She paints the world the way it feels inside.
Hey, aloha Friday, my beautiful sister. Look, man, I just want to give you a shout out on this Aloha Day where we're sharing the love. I just want to say thank you so much for all that you do for Chemo Buddies for Life and everything that you're involved in through Tamara Hunter and our family. You're always there to support us. How you say? Haole la hanu. Aloha.
Carolyn, on your birthday, today, tomorrow, and always, I absolutely adore you. Happy birthday, my friend.
Soft around the edges, learning as she tries. Through forest paths and open skies, she tells the truth, even when it's hard sometimes.
Happy birthday, Caroline. Wishing you a wonderful day and an incredible year of magic and joy. Big hugs from Thomas, Patty, and Coco Dog.
Wishing you a very happy birthday. I wanted to thank you so much for being part of the Chemo Buddies for Life, and know that you are loved.
A turtle walking, not lost at all, just shedding layers as seasons call. What once felt missing fades away. She's still growing day by day.
Celebrate you, the beautiful Caroline. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Wishing you an incredible birthday. You're a birthday queen of January.
Oh, Caroline, you remind us it's okay to grow gently, to find our way.
Happy birthday, Carolyn. Thank you for all that you do for the Let's Talk Fabulous show, for Chemo Buddies for Life, and all the other ways that you give and you serve and you show up. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate you. I hope you're having a wonderful day and a marvelous, fabulous new year.
With open hearts and willing hands, we're learning love the best we can.
Happy birthday, Caroline. Yay, it's your birthday. We celebrate you for the incredible woman you are, friend, supporter of so many people, and my Canadian sister. So happy birthday, Caroline. Thank you for being here and being a gift to our world. Happy birthday.
She serves with heart, she shows up strong, strong, standing with the buddies all along. Oh, oh, oh.
Happy birthday, Caroline. Oh my goodness, I hope you are having a fabulous, fabulous birthday that is as fabulous as you are, because you are just an amazing part of the Let's Talk Fabulous team, and we are so grateful to have you. So I hope you have a wonderful year ahead, and yeah, enjoy your day.
Senior ambassador, steady and true, giving her time, her care, her view.
Happy birthday, Mrs. Caroline Brown. You're amazing, lady. I love you. I love you. And I just want to wish you the most happiest birthday. And I want to wish you so many more to come.
Happy birthday, Caroline.
Caroline, you are loved. I want to say thank you for believing in our mission, and thank you for working alongside with me for so many years. You have made a difference for so many. You inspire so many. And this song is an opportunity for us to say thank you and happy birthday. May this birthday be the best yet. We love you.
Wow, we just roasted Caroline in a good way. In a good way. So Caroline, I hope you love that. We love you, as Queen Tamara L. Hunter said, and we just adore you, and we thank you for having your voice that matters within this community, and it really truly does. You do a lot of work for a lot of individuals. So we just love you, and I'm going to stop because I'm going to start crying, and I'll need to do that. We need to continue on. So with that said, I want to go straight to, we're talking about Caroline, straight to Carol's video regarding Voice That Matters, and we'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Carol Henderson, and I come from the great state of Texas. And one of the things I want to comment about is that you never know who's listening to you. You never know what nuggets that you say that someone is going to take that might change their life. So when you think of something and you know something, or you have a kind word for someone, please say it. Kindness is so lacking in our world today. And so just a single word can make so much difference in how people live their life. So your words matter. Your words matter, and it can rock somebody's world, and it can totally make a difference in their day and in their life. So don't hold back. Don't hold back. When you have something to say it, because you don't know who's listening that may be dealing with the same thing you have dealt with.
Yes, yes. And I love how you said that, Carol, and I'm going to bring you in the middle for a minute here, because your words are maybe a bridge to somebody's healing. And I have got that from people, and people have got it from me, where I say certain things. They're like, oh my God, Barb, that was just the right time. And you just don't know. I mean, I had people I would say 1, 2, or 3 words, and all of a sudden they started crying. I was kind of like, Karen, like, okay, what just happened here? What did I was like, I didn't mean to make you cry. And they said, no, I needed it. I needed to let it out. You just, said something. So always make sure that your words matter to somebody out there. Just don't, be like, well, 2 words and it don't matter. No, those 2 words can be a healing process for somebody. So, Carol, I want you to kind of just go more into what you were talking about with that. Uh-oh. You're on mute, lady. Okay, there you go.
Here we go. I was unmuting, but it kept going back. Yes, and it is amazing, and it is so rewarding, like Karen said, when somebody comes back and says, you told me this, or you taught me this, and I shared this. And I mean, it's just like, oh my. And you can say the same things. I used to have a modeling agency, many of y'all know that, worked with a lot of young people. And I got to where the parents would bring their children in and say, what do you say about da-da-da-da-da-da-da? And I would say, what I thought. It was the same thing that Mom was saying, but because it came from somebody else, it had weight. Because they, and I did the same thing with my kids and other people. But sometimes it's just a different person saying the same thing. You have to be careful. You don't want somebody to tell them something contrary to what you believe or think. But, words they're containers. They're containers of feelings and words and love. And so it starts a ripple. And you never know where the ripple will go or who will be touched by the ripple of your word. So if it's a kind word, if it's an uplifting word, don't hold back.
Yeah, don't hold back. And, you might think one thing, but it might be totally different for somebody else. That's why it's so important that your voice does matter with that. Anybody want to relate or comment on that? Anybody want to add? Okay.
It's true.
Oh,
okay.
When you're talking about that words, I've just, in my mind, I was seeing images, pictures, and sometimes an artist or through someone's art can throw up something that the paintings, the color, and you see it, and it's like, it brings up emotions and reactions. And so as you develop your voice and whatever it is, dance, music, art, writing, speaking, it's important to monitor yourself and review at the end of the day. What did I just do? How did it fall on other people? And really empower yourself to constantly improve. And we can.
Yeah, definitely. I love that. Anybody else want to chime in real quick?
Yeah.
Let's get to Karen.
For me, the bottom line is if you are able to always speak from your heart, speak from your heart, and follow the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated. Speak to others the way you'd like to be spoken to. And use your voice for good, but always from the heart. And I've had people say, gee, I didn't hear that before. It's like you were saying, Carol, sometimes it comes from a different person. And it comes through because what is being said is from the heart. It's not, this is the way you're supposed to do it. It's because I care.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. And, you know, all of us, you know, we have different platforms on here. You know, people have different businesses or just doing maybe a heart-centered project or what have you. And that's why, just to add to your voice matters, you know, your purpose on what, you know, I would say God given you your purpose. We have an we accountable. I mean, a lot of people be like, oh, you're giving me something else to think about. And yes, we're all accountable to have our voice out there, because whatever gift that you have, anything that you're doing business wise or personal wise, it needs to get out so people can hear it. If you don't say anything, they're not going to hear it, and they're not going to know where to go or how to do it. JacQueline.
It's really important to realize that it's not always beautiful. Sometimes power is to say, I don't want killing anymore, or whatever the abuse, that is powerful, and it's not always nice and loving, but it's coming from that heart space. So hopefully, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it's not always going to. Well, we keep it real, you know. Here sometimes it's not going to be like dancing in the roses and all the time. Sometimes it's something that it's going to be something that's maybe painful, but it needs to come out. So, like I said earlier, the healing can start somewhere, and it might be either one of you that says something to get through that. But you got to put it out there.
Don't be afraid of your power.
Yeah, don't be afraid of your power.
And one of the things that just like flowed here is, maybe for somebody that's watching, is to understand that your words matter, but they can be shared in a way that's in alignment with you. So it doesn't mean that you have to come out and speak. Write it down, start a blog, text someone a message, record yourself before, you know, I mean, there's so many different ways to share your voice. So find the way that actually nurtures you and is in harmony with you, so that you feel comfortable and safe to share it. And people will be able to receive your words in whatever form you choose to put them out there. So there's no one right way to get your message out.
Yes.
Well,
go ahead.
One thing that I want to say is that sometimes you have a hard word to say to somebody, but it can still be said in love and in kindness and with your full heart. And if you don't go through a test, you don't have a testimony. If you don't go through a mess at some point, you don't have a message. And so all of those things come in here in our speaking to people, whether it's, you know, dance, art, podcasts, blogs, whatever. It's all in the heart behind it, the delivery. You know, there are so many people out there that are angry and harsh and mean at this point in time, and they're screaming to the world, but nobody's listening because it's just minutia. It's just noise. So people are listening to the heart, to the kindness, and to the people who care.
Yes, and people really need to listen to that heart. Before I get to JacQueline, I see she wants to say something. I just want to, I don't want people to get upset at me. All the people in the comments section, Natasha Moore, thank you for showing up, Lady Queen. We also have Caroline. We just celebrated her birthday video. There's a lot of people. Please, I love the conversations that are going here. And I love what Natasha said. You can't go wrong when it comes from the heart. You just can't. And it's not going to, and see, another thing, you might not touch, some people expect, I got to touch everybody. No, you might touch one or two people, or you might touch everybody. It doesn't really matter, as long as you put it came from the heart. And that's what really counts. JacQueline, I want to put you in real quick.
Two things really quickly. I have my students, coach, clients, and myself. I start with a meditation every day, focusing on asking to be in my heart, in love, and be the best I can be. And then before I go to sleep, I set the intention in my sleep state. I want to release any negativity, stress in my sleep state, and wake up with answers, and wake up feeling with energy, love, and joy, and setting that intention twice a day.
Yes, I love that. I love it. Love it. Anybody else want to comment before I go into my question? I have a question for the panel. So before we, wrap up here, I want to do two things. First, I want to ask this question and have, either everybody answer it, but quickly. And then after you answer that question, I want you to give any lasting thoughts. Okay. So each one of you has like a minute to do that. And my question for you and for the audience is, how do we push past fear or judgment when sharing your truth? Because we've been talking a lot about your voice that matters and we should be speaking up and we should be talking. But there's a lot of people, including myself back in the day, that I was very fearful or fear of being judged. So, I want you to give just a small tip for the audience of how they push through that, because we don't want that to be a distraction. We were just talking about distraction a minute ago, because it's so important that your voice is there. So I'm going to start off with Ms. JacQueline, to answer that question real quick, and any lasting thoughts that you have, and I'll move to the next queen.
Courage. Again, there's usually at least one thing in life that you're really good at. I don't care if it's skateboarding or cutting up carrots or whatever it may be. But if you focus in on what you're good at and the feeling that you have when you're doing that activity, even if it's reading a book and you're really good at cognition. So focus on that and then take that feeling and apply it toward what you want to say or do. And this is one thing that people can have help with during coaching of any type, if you have the right coach. So it helps empower you. And I work with people a lot, and I take people through classes, and there are many classes on every level to help empower you, find your voice, and share it appropriately to help you with your growth personally.
Thank you, JacQueline. Next person we'll go to is Karen. Just a little bit advice, and then any lasting thoughts within 30 seconds.
Well, first of all, I pushing through fear is so hard, and it's just dang exhausting. Making friends with fear. So becoming aware of what the fear is, allowing the fear to have a voice, speak to that voice, ask the fear, what evidence do you have? What evidence do you have that this is the case, that this will happen? And it could be, well, it happened in the past. Okay, it happened in the past. Are you the same person that you were back then? Not necessarily. No, you're not, because we keep changing. We grow every moment of every day. So with that said, whatever you say, whatever you do, however you're feeling, that is an energy that goes out into the world. It does create that ripple effect. Everything goes out at least 30 feet around you, your energy.
Yes.
According to neuroscience.
So I'm going to have to move on. I'm sorry. Let's go to Carol real quick, Carol, because we want to get Elena in too. Oh, she's on mute. I got you.
Okay. I'm just going to give you some nuggets. Fear, false evidence appearing real. Okay. And Joyce Meyer always says, do it afraid. Go ahead and do it. And one thing that helped me so much, it's not my business what people think of me. It's none of your business. That's their own thoughts. And so I can just do the best that I can do.
Thank you. And Miss Queen.
Yeah, real quick. I think to push past fear or judgment is to actually get real with yourself about the intention of what you want your words to do. And are they actually coming from you, or are they coming through you? And I think the fear and judgment comes from your own ego, if it's really about you and not the genuine purpose of the words.
Awesome. Awesome. So this has been amazing. Everybody has voiced their voice that matters. And remember, it does really matter. Don't be fearful. Reach out to us. Reach out to me. I'll tell you in a heartbeat to talk. But with that said, we will see you at the next Let's Talk Fabulous show for next Sunday. And always, always know that you are fabulous and have a fabulous life. See you next week. Bye. As long as I can, Kim, can you help me here? I'm clicking, but it's not working. Technology at its best.
Thank you, Barbara.